to this program. We welcome our Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Liasu. It will be represented by the Dean, the Chairman, Committee of Deans and Provosts. You're welcome, sir. I also welcome the Registrar of the University, Dr. Ogunleye. You're welcome, sir. The University Librarian, Mrs. Modupe, you're welcome, ma'am. Then all other participants, the anchor people in this university, the program is being anchored by the group of Professor Olabiyi, Professor Olabiyisi, Professor Arulogun, and the other members of the team. Now, to quickly move on, I will ask the Vice Chancellor, sir, to give the opening remarks. Vice Chancellor, your opening remarks. Vice Chancellor is being represented by Professor Adiomowaye.
Thank you very much. I'm standing in for the Acting Vice Chancellor, who is unavoidably absent. Members of University Management, LAUTECH Ogbomoso, the Registrar, Dr. K. Ogunleye, the University Librarian, Dr. Mrs. Aboyade, all deans and provosts of the university, directors and chairmen of programs, heads of departments, the program manager, Association of Commonwealth Universities, United Kingdom, all the course leaders and tutors, all other important dignitaries from our university here, you are welcome to this occasion. It is my pleasure to give opening remark at this August occasion on the collaboration between Association of Commonwealth Universities, ACU, United Kingdom, and LAUTECH, Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, Nigeria. I remember that I endorsed, that is the Vice Chancellor, the agreement on partnership for enhanced and blended learning in West Africa, the West Africa project on October 8, 2021. No doubt, both organizations have attained world recognition, and coming together will give more strength and integrity to both parties. I sincerely commend Association of Commonwealth Universities and other partners on this project, that is blended learning, most especially at a time the world is passing through COVID-19 pandemic. On this good note, I wish all of us successful meeting and highly rewarding collaborative relationship in the future. Thank you. Please permit me to stand on this existing protocol. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful welcome address, Vice Chancellor. Now, to quickly move on, I will call on Professor T. Olabiyi for introduction to PEBL West Africa. Professor Olabiyi, welcome.
Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I count it all joy to stand before you this morning and deliver my address. Blended learning is an approach to education that combines educational materials and opportunities for interactions online with traditional place-based classroom methods. It is a style of education in which students learn via electronics and online media, as well as traditional face-to-face teaching. In a nutshell, it is hybrid learning. It is important to note that PEBL WA stands for Partnership for Enhanced and Blended Learning in West Africa. However, it is a follow-up project from Partnership for Enhanced and Blended Learning in East Africa, PEBL WA. Partnership for Enhanced Blended Learning in West Africa is funded by Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, DFAT, while the Association of Commonwealth Universities UK is the lead partner on the project. The technical partners on PEBL WA are Staff and Educational Development Association, SEDA, Commonwealth of Learning, COL, National University Commission, Nigeria, Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, Ghana, National Open University of Nigeria. The university partners are as follows: Alex Ikweme Federal University, Ndulu Alikwe, AE, Funai, Nigeria. All Nigerian universities, ANU, Nigeria. Assisi University, Nigeria. Ebonyi State University, Nigeria. First Technical Universities, Ibadan. That's Tech U, Nigeria. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, Ghana. Kumasi. Technical University, Ghana. Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, Nigeria. University of Energy and Natural Resources, UENR, Ghana. University of Ibadan and University of Ibadan, that's Nigeria. University of Lagos, Nigeria. It is important that I introduce LAUTECH PEBL West Africa Project team. They are Professor S.O. Olabiyisi. Can you stand up for recognition, please? Thank you. Also on board is Professor Tayo Arologun, the Director, Open Distance Learning, LAUTECH. Can I have your seat? Also on board is Mr. Adeyinka Akedele, an erudite scholar at Open Distance Learning of Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, Nigeria. Also very important personality on board is Mr. Oyebade Oyesina, who happened to be the web officer of at ICT in LAUTECH. Can you stand up? Okay, thank you. I am the LAUTECH PEBL West Africa Project for LAUTECH lead investigator, and my name is Professor Timothy Ipola Olabiyi. Also very important on board, we have all the principal officers of the universities, as mentioned earlier on, all the deans of the universities, the directors, the chairman of different programs in the universities, and also all the head of department. Can one of the head of department stand up for recognition, especially my HOD, my head of department? Thank you. That is Mr. K.A. Adelasoye, the man that anchored the Professor Olabi in his department. Thank you. So on this very good note, I want to say welcome to everybody and thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much, Professor Timothy Olabi, for that introduction. Quickly, let me call on program manager and the course leader of this team for his presentation. The program manager, for your presentation, please. Okay. So it's from Ms. Woods. Okay. Oh, go ahead with your presentation. Sure.
Yeah, Ruth Brown, you can unmute your microphone and you can speak, including the video. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm afraid you're not going to see me on video because I have COVID and I'm in my pajamas. So you'll have to excuse the picture of the cedar. I want to welcome you all here today. I want to compliment you on the very professional way that you set up this meeting. The people who were online knew that everything was going because there was music playing for us and we didn't have to worry about whether the sound was going to work or not. So thank you for that. I've enjoyed working with you so far. I've got another year or so to work with you, and I'm looking forward to the fruits of the investment that you have made in blended learning over time. Thank you for all the people who've come to listen to Prof. Tim and his team, and I am just very, very happy to see you. I want to say that I'm glad to see that there are some people from the community, the PEBL West Africa community as well, who aren't from LAUTECH. I'm looking forward to this morning. Off you go.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wood. On behalf of LAUTECH, let me appreciate you for that remark. Now, the main item of the day is the presentation of PEBL West Africa by some members of the team, Mr. Akindele and Professor Arulogun. Your presentation.
All right, thank you so much. I want to observe the established protocol. No. I want to establish the established protocol. So, Mr. Vice Chancellor, the principal officers, and other distinguished colleagues, thank you for coming. And I will go through what we have as what should be done. And before I start with that, we know blended learning is actually the way to go now. Even LAUTECH as a university has embraced that blended learning in the past 10 years by establishment of LAUTECH Open and Distance Learning Center. And also, NUC also recognized that blended learning is the way to go, not even before the COVID-19 started, that there should be a blend of face-to-face and online learning. And we have started that, but how do we ensure that this goes around the whole university? At LODLC, we've been looking towards this, to have a kind of sensitization workshop that will ensure that everybody in the university understand and apply blended learning. It's not difficult. We just need to adjust some of the things we do in terms of our course delivery, lecture materials, and support system that must be in place. So all these are things that we need to adjust. Based on that, I'll go through the 16 steps. First, I will handle the 8th step, and Mr. Akindele will handle the rest. The first one is set up a sit-down talk with the Vice Chancellor and other university stakeholders on the opportunity on the available for blended learning. And actually the opportunity there is just that there is more visibility and then there is more learning outcome. So, and that's exactly what we are doing now currently. And step 2, we need to set up a Senate-approved committee to develop e-learning and blended learning policies for institutional use. And the time frame is January to October this year. But I also want to let you know that LAUTECH already set up e-learning committee. And with this, we need to streamline and fast-track the work of that committee. So, responsible officer, University Senate, and Professor Olabi from our hand, so to be able to monitor it. And what are the expected outcomes? A robust e-learning policy that will guide the operations, that will guide the way we deliver our teaching and learning over time. Third step is academic planning unit to collaborate with the Senate to approve, with the Senate approved committee to design open educational resources policies. What this means is that we need to ensure we create our content in a way that is shareable, that other people can have access to it without hindrance. And when we do this, what we are doing is that you can give. It's when you give and give that you can receive. That is the philosophy behind OER, ensuring that we share what we have and we'll be able to get more. And this gives the university more visibility. I know DAP knows what I'm talking about. It ensures that university has more visibility because your content are available online for people to use and to adapt and to reuse. And also what that means also is that if we go a step further, we can allow universities that are using our resources to give us credit and have what we call backlink. And that will ensure that we have improved university ranking. So the responsible officer are University Senate, DAP, and our team in LAUTECH. So the fourth item is organized capacity building workshop on blended learning in our institution with PEBL team as ambassador. What this means is that we need to organize stakeholder workshop, collaboration to ensure that people understand what blended learning is all about. Like I mentioned, it's not quite difficult. It's just we adjust the way we do things. We cannot continue the way we've been doing in terms of learning and teaching and believe that we'll be able to make it in this century. Even with the advent of COVID-19, we see that interaction, physical interaction is being reduced. And this will help us to ensure that physical interaction is reduced and we're able to deliver our core mandate to our client who are the students. So that's for item number 4. And who are responsible? PEBL LAUTECH team. Then technical expertise improvement via capacity building workshop. So all these are things that the expected outcome from this team. So number 4B, which is also organized virtual webinar and talk on the current trends in blended learning. All these are still capacity building. Then item number 5, design institutional template for repurposing teaching material for online through blended learning. Yes, this is part of the critical area we need to look into. And this is about, we must have a template. I told you we have templates, but university-wide must have a template that everybody will adopt. First thing is that it gives you a unique identity. Anybody that sees a course material from LAUTECH will say, oh, this course material is from LAUTECH. It's unique and will follow the same pattern. And with this, it's easier to upload. And with this, it's much easier to share the OER resource at OER resources. So the time frame is March to July 2020. It's not something that is difficult. It's just to set up a committee to look at it and have a template that everybody will use and also train people on how to use a template. And DAP is a critical stakeholder in this to ensure that it is done, PEBL, and the whole university. We need to do this and ensure that it's there. So what are the outcomes? Standard template for OER for uniformity in all institutional resources is very, very critical. Then number 6, develop localized remote proctor examination software for remote test and assessment. Why we are talking about this is that now things could be changing. We may not be having physical interaction as we used to have. And that means we must plan ahead to see how do we ensure that our students are assessed, either remotely, either physically. And we know that we have the capability, we have the capacity in this university to set up this. And we just need to make a move to put it as a policy that we want to do remote examination. That is also coming. So the time frame is January to September 2020. And the key stakeholder here is ICT, PEBL, LAUTECH team. But all this thing, when we are talking of the key stakeholder, we need the support of the university management to ensure that all these things are put in place in terms of support and encouragement. Number 7, set up digital and social media unit for managed institutional social media platform in collaboration with PRO unit. Yes, learning has gone social. Learning has gone social, and that is why it is very, very important that universities set up what we call digital and social media units that is managed, because we need to look at our image. We need to do a lot of things, and the unit is between January and September also. Then the unit responsible will be registry, PRO unit, ICT, media unit, PEBL team. And what are the benefits? Staff for digital media creation and promotion on social media. We will have large publicity. We have a lot of things that we need to do. So we should encourage that we have that. And then 8, recruit and set up support helpline for staff and students struggling with the use of blended learning technologies due to inadequate technical competency. Yes, this is very, very critical. And this is also one of the things that NUC has identified, that we must have what we call IANG, information advice and guidance and counseling. And it's not that we don't have, but we need to enhance what we have so that we can support the student. Because a lot of students, even staff, will be having challenges in terms of this new nomenclature. So university must strengthen that unit to support students and staff. And this is very, very critical. I will want to transfer the control of this presentation to Mr. Akindele to finish the rest. So thank you, Akindele.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. As Professor Aru has been iterating from steps 1 to step 8, I would like to continue from step 9. So step 9, in continuation of all the other steps, the university at large needs to collaborate more with LAUTECH distance learning. I am from LAUTECH distance learning. We have been using some of these technologies. We are versed in them. We are experiencing them. So LODLC will be a key stakeholder in this. So if we need to replicate some of these technologies and scale up on them to cover the whole university, is going to be good. So the key stakeholders is going to be LODLC, the PEBL team, and the whole university at large. And what we are expecting is that with this, there will be quick and easy adoption of those technologies. Some of our staffs, and particularly the students, these technologies might be strange to them. So there might need for capacity building and training for both the staffs and the students, which LODLC can deliver. In step 10, there is need for a custom website for this PEBL project and for every other blended learning project that the university is going to be involved in. And the key stakeholder here is the ICT, which they have done. It is the reason why we put the timeline to January 22. Yeah. Kudos to ICT team for implementing this as fast as possible. I want to appreciate Mr. Gbadi for doing that and the director of ICT. Thank you, sir. In step 11, we also want to write blog articles on blended learning, on technologies that are used, on the benefits, and we post them on the university sites. We post them on social media and any other thing that is related or associated with LAUTECH. The purpose of this is to increase awareness. People tend to adopt technology more when they are already aware of it. When technology is springed on people, then skepticism comes in, criticism comes in when you don't actually know the capability. But when they have been reading articles, they have been seeing multimedias on it, they will, at least to a certain extent, associate themselves with it and key more into it when it is time to deliver. So the key stakeholders here is ICT and the PEBL LAUTECH team. Then in step 12, we need to create multimedia. This is very, very important. Creating video adverts, creating banners, flyers, animations, and things like that. If we see many of these so-called advanced universities, as we usually call them in Nigeria, you see that they position themselves critically on social platforms. We see their products, they are proud of, they will tell you the CEO of this company is from here, this president is from here. It's making them as if they are actually far better than us. We also have people in top places in the world. If we create multimedias, flyers on not only just the university, on blended learning at large, is going to increase awareness and acceptance by all stakeholders involved. Then in step 13, we want to create frequently asked questions. Many staffs have questions. Many students have questions on blended learning, the approaches, and how it is going to work. It is going to be difficult to be answering all these questions one by one when we have an audience of more than 30,000 considering the whole population of LAUTECH. But if we can design frequently asked questions, questions that we have anticipated, are appropriate responses to this question, and we publish them on the institutional websites, it's going to be good. It will improve technical skills of staffs and students and all others. Then in step 14, we want to advocate, everybody that is here, to staff and students, is a kind of advanced awareness so that they can know that blended learning is coming to LAUTECH and they will start preparing ahead for it. If they need to take tutorials, if they need to have trainings and things like that. So advocate to staff and students on the need for increased use of open education resources. There are so many resources out there. For example, this PEBL project, a course has been assigned to LAUTECH, which is web design and development. We are going to design it, we are going to implement it, and we are going to submit it back to Association of Commonwealth. There is a platform called OER Africa. It is going to be published there for any university worldwide to take and use. It is good for us. It increases our institutional ranking. People will know that this course that they are taking from any university worldwide, as long as they are a member of Association of Commonwealth, can take those courses and they know LAUTECH is the one who designed it. So awareness and advocacy is very, very important. And the responsible team is PEBL LAUTECH team and all staff. Advocacy doesn't have to come from only us. Everybody here, every staff, every student can serve this advocacy thing. So the timeline we put there is between now and January 2023. That's a full year for us to learn, to talk about it, and to spread it wide. And finally, the step 15. We intentionally put this step as last because it might consume some resources and some planning. Setting up an institutional conference on blended learning and educational technology domiciled in our institution. We want to set up conferences, but for this, we will need editors, we will need people to turn in articles, and so on and so forth. So it's good for us because we are contributing to knowledge, we are showcasing our professionalism, and we are also increasing our institutional ranking alongside. So these are some of the things that we have put in place as ways by which we can increase the institutional profile while also practicing what the whole world is already looking into, which is blended learning. So at this junction, I would like to appreciate the management for giving us the opportunity to come and present this, and appreciate the other members of the team, the Professor Olabi, Professor Olabisi, Professor Alogun, and Mr. Agbade. Thank you all.
A round of applause for the duo of Professor Alogun. Thank you so much, Professor Alogun and Mr. Akindele, for that expository presentation and the step-by-step procedure that you have lined up. The Almighty God will be with us to achieve this step-by-step procedure. Now, quickly, let's look at the next thing on the agenda is the question and answer. We want participants to ask questions concerning this PEBL West Africa. And that will be anchored by Mr. Bade Oyeshino of LICT, LAUTECH.
Good morning, sirs. Good morning, ma. My name is Bade Oyeshino. I stand on the existing protocol. We can only take 4 questions, 1 online and 3 among the audience. If you have any question concerning the presentation that has been given or about the project, Professor Labi is here, Professor Arulogun, and Mr. Akindele will be able to answer you. Please, can you please signify? Okay, 1. Can we take all the questions at the time or one by one? Okay, one by one.
Thank you very much. All protocol duly and well observed. The acting vice chancellor, the registrar, the librarian, and the team, PEBL. To my own understanding, the summary of this program is an online learning, sort of. Am I? An hybrid. Okay, is it going to be applicable to all programs in the university? You know, we have about 10 faculties now. Is it going to be applicable then? On the student side, well, if it's going to be applicable, that would be a kind of additional responsibility to the student compared to regular conventional learning model. They will need to spend more accessing it online, wherever they are? What are the provisions? Are they going to be scholarship, fellowship for some students? So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Professor Ige, the Dean of Students. Yes, when we are talking about, maybe I should first start with what is meant by blended learning so that we understand what it's all about. Blended learning is combination of the two modes. You learn physically, you also learn online. Let me take an example of a course, let's say CS 100. If we take the first 3 modules, we teach it on face-to-face, and we pick the next other 3 modules, you transform it to online. And you ask students to go online, they learn it, they do all the activity, assignment, and quizzes, and everything is combined together as a full course. And then there are some other components, like for that CS 100, there are some online simulators that they can use. So all these are still part of blended learning, so that you free some of your laboratories, and also the students have more flexibility. And this is also more important at this time because of the pandemic that we were in. So that's the first approach. So that's what is called the blended learning. That is, you are blending face-to-face with online. And we can only do that if we prepare. You will remember also during the pandemic, we were not able to respond as we should. But suppose we have something like this in place, everybody will be able to respond as we should. And to your question that, will there be scholarship, support, and so on? Yes, we know this is why we are doing this stakeholder deliberation, so that everybody will think, how do we solve some of these challenges? You have mentioned that challenge from point of view of students. How do we solve that problem? How do they get access? How do they get the laptops or working tools? So that means the university needs to look inward. How do we solve this problem? In terms of access, there's what we call zero rating. We can meet the service provider, and this has been the advocacy that has been going on, that let educational resources be accessible free of charge using the internet services. And I know it will get to that point. Once all of us agree that this is the way to go, we will find solution in that area. And also for the computing tools they need. You know, in this age, as a student, you need to have a working tool. It's standard. We've been saying it even before that internet is a working tool for everybody. If you don't have internet, you may not even be able to do anything because it's now about communication. So we look at how we can do that. So the university can find a way to ensure that you also, NUC has been doing something they call e-readiness of universities, e-learning readiness. And in that, they require universities to provide services, computing services, maybe a place to put 50, 100 computer system in each faculty so that students can access it. That is where the university is going. And that is where our regulator is also going. So what we are doing today is like, we are having forehand information from ACU that, please, why don't you go this way? This is the way the future is going. So those are the things. So that's why we need more advocacy. We can also think, what are the challenges? How do we solve these challenges? So that is why. So we also need your help to synthesize the student. You're also a key stakeholder that will synthesize the student. Also, one thing that is also missing that we may not be doing properly is student support. It's very, very critical because the student we are talking may not be on campus, may be far away. How do they get support? So we also need to find a way, how do we design our support system? Students may not go physically to the student affair or academic affair. They must find a way to reach the university from wherever they are. So we need to also strengthen all that area. And I know DSA, you'll be able to help us in that area. So the purpose of this deliberation is to ensure that everybody understand where we are, understand where we are going, and know what we need to do. So we'll all be speaking with one voice. And when we do that, solutions will come out. So thank you. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Yes, it's for all programs. It's for all programs. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. This is a very, very laudable initiative, and it's a welcomed one. However, there are a few critical things I'd like us to take note of. One, from our presentation, even though we have talked about putting in place policies, e-learning policies and all that, one critical question I'd like to ask is, what strategy are we going to put in place to make sure that our curriculum is upgraded and revisited to meet with international best practice? Yeah, because to the best of my knowledge, our curriculum is a little bit backward. We have not reviewed it, in recent times. And we want to put this thing out in the digital space that makes it available to everybody in the world. And that simply means that if any university anywhere in the world wants to admit LAUTECH graduates, automatically they know our curriculum. So we need to do something to make our curriculum such that it matches, recent trends in the world. Then the issue of infrastructure, Director ODL was already talking about that, but to join voice with him, the management of the university will really have to invest. Investment on information technology, a must. We cannot run away from it. We cannot shy away from it. Yeah. There must be strong internet presence in all faculties around, the campus. There must be, some working space where students will be able to access internet. Then quickly, I want to just ask, I don't know whether the policy we are trying to develop here will be different from one policy we presented sometimes, or they will blend both to work together, or an extension of that. I don't know. Because sometimes we presented in Senate floor ICT and e-learning policy, which have not yet been put or implemented in LAUTECH. So maybe from there, maybe another version, I don't know. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Professor Justice, the Dean of Faculty of Computing and Informatics. You've mentioned a lot of things, and in terms of the curriculum, that's why there is need for something like this. So we also need to upgrade our curriculum with the standard best practices. And what this means is that we need to do a lot more. And that's why we have been calling all stakeholders, that things have to be different from the way we've been doing it. We have to look at our curriculum. You see, there is NUC BMAS, which is minimum benchmark. We should go ahead beyond that. That should be what we are doing. I also want to inform us that NUC has been working on upgrading the curriculum in the Nigerian university system. But nevertheless, we too should also be looking towards that and find a way to add more, go beyond the minimum they are going to give us very soon. So that is about that. And on the policy that we mentioned here, it's not that we are creating new policy. It's not that the PEBL LAUTECH is creating new policy. But we are saying that policy must be in place. And not only in place, must be utilized. So I'm happy that we are also doing something in that line. So we need to expedite actions on those policies and ensure that they are in place. Oh, well, that is standard. We've been talking about infrastructure upgrade. We need to do that because everybody needs working tool. I know there's nobody here that does not have a laptop. Is there somebody that doesn't have a laptop here in our midst? Somebody? Nobody. So what we are saying is that is working tool, basic working tool. So universities should also ensure that all these are put in place. They are no longer with privileges. They are essential, even for students. What we are saying, I know Professor Labisi went for e-learning readiness. I also went for that in OAU. And what NUC will bring to our table very soon is that you must provide this, provide this, provide this. But what we are saying is that now that we know that, I think I share with DAP those information. We need to now start preparing for those so that we'll be ahead. When they come, say, you already have it, you already have it. So that's the sense of all this sensitization. I hope I'll be able to answer your questions. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, shed light.
Thank you, shed more light on the e-learning policy. Presently in LAUTECH, there is no policy that supports that so they can take their examination from home. We need to sit down here and do a policy. Yes, maybe we need to adopt that policy and make it university-wide e-learning policy, such that students can take their examination from home. You can do PhD or examination from home. We put in those things in places and they will be in our documents to support that. Because as a lecturer now, if I give any students assignment online, there's no university policy that supports that I should do that. So they can take you up. But when you have university policies that can take such situation, we are good to go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please, before we start to speak, please, can we introduce ourselves so that we can be aware of who we are and our designation? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the privilege. I think first and foremost, I would commend the effort of Professor Olabiyi for securing the grant in the first instance. I would also like to commend the effort of all the team members for these innovative ideas. And we'll be charging the management to please put all weight behind all the ideas in the presentation. I think we all know LAUTECH is an household name in Nigeria, but with all these activities that will be implemented very soon, I'm very sure and optimistic that LAUTECH will soon be an household name globally.
Yeah, you can take it.
What makes all these ideas very fantastic? Very soon, as has been emphasized by Professor Arulogun, NUC will soon be charging us to do some things. And in the next couple of months, we will be having information on some things that we need to do. And that will be coming through the Vice Chancellor anyway. We've been having series of trainings from December till now, several virtual meetings, and that is why a document will soon be presented from NUC, and all these things are being done towards elevating Nigeria and Africa up from the level we are in the global ranking. So that is why I will charge the management again. We are always saying there is no fund. There is always no fund, but please, there are always interests in some things, and when there are such interests, fund is always made available. However, the management would have to support all these activities. Please, this is a very important one, such that it won't be that when others are now moving, we will still be behind. Please kindly help us to note all this and try to support it, because when LAUTECH was announced, best state, everybody was happy. The council was happy, management was happy, the registrar was extremely happy. So I can imagine its level of joy when LAUTECH comes up at global level. So please, and the stakeholders as well, however we can support these ideas. There is no alternative. This is the way forward. And that is including several other things that will be coming up later. Those are the things that they always check to rank at global level. So once again, I thank the chair of the project and the team members. Well done.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Professor Bolanle Aisha Takiwande is my name. I'm the Director of Academic Planning of LAUTECH.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Do you want to? Okay. Can we take, we have one question online. Dr. Adiaga, can you please come?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. First of all, we'd like to congratulate LAUTECH for a very nice presentation. And since I'm also a member of the grant from First Technical University, Ibadan, I am an associate professor of mechanical engineering, the head of Department of Mechanical and Mechatronics Engineering, and also the vice dean of engineering. So I appreciate LAUTECH for this wonderful presentation. However, the dean that spoke was actually talking about seeing this PEBL project as online. It's not totally online because I'm also part of the project. We have our version 2 in TechU, and by next week we shall be presenting by Wednesday. The actual concept is a blended one, where both physical and online will be combined in such a way that purpose will be a kind of directional. It depends on what comes in. If it is very much of going online, it's still part of blended. But if it is going to be physical too, then physical coming. For example, we talk about the engineering aspects. How will you now say you want to run engineering course as online? So there's something called virtual laboratory, which the First Technical University too is involved in another grant, which we have just submitted about a month ago. It's about virtual laboratory. It was artificial intelligence for clean energy, a group in First Technical University that actually won the grant in collaboration with FUTMINA and also LAUTECH. So the concept of PEBL is actually to put people, to take people from the ground and put them where no hindrances will affect them, and also to take our education to a global level. And I'm so sure that if we, when I mean we, LAUTECH and all others that are involved in this grant, are given that necessary support from the management, if all the policies we are made to favor the First Technical University, favor this project, whether you are from TechU, you are from LAUTECH, EBSU, and the rest, is going to do a lot in putting this country on the edge in terms of knowledge. So that is my contribution. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Adiaga. Spoke from First Technical University. It's part of PEBL WA. Okay, 2 more questions. Please kindly introduce yourself before you ask the question.
I'm Olusegun Olumuyiwajo, Deputy Registrar, University International Office. Why I want to lend my voice to all that have been said here today, standing on the existing protocol already established. My question is, looking at the robust presentation, very interesting and very good means of moving forward. As a University of Technology, it's a thing that we have to buy into almost immediately. In fact, the appeal to management to make funds available is a thing that the university has to find a way of doing. And it has been rightly said, when there is a will, there is a way. So there should be a will on the part of the university management to be able to create a way. My question is this: what is the mechanism that has been put in place to achieve these items 1 to 16 that have been presented here today? Timelines have been set. What is the mechanism to ensure that those timelines are sustained? And at the end of the day, that all the set goals are achieved. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Faru will answer. Okay, the last question. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chancellor, and all protocol duly observed. My name is Professor T. Adidoshu, Director, LAUTECH. My own is just a kind of follow-up to what Dr. Adiaga said. It's just an addition to support the cause, in the sense that even for people that will be learning physically, it makes things easy, in the sense that once there is infrastructural development, in the sense that we have to revive all the digital TV that we have in all our halls, so that if we want to teach physically, what we need to do is just to put in our USB, and it make learning very easy. It's not going to be as tedious as what we have now for people that will be teaching physically. Then again, it makes people, getting people to do sabbatical from abroad, because anywhere in the world, you can do your sabbatical. You can just put in your lecture anywhere. You can teach your lecture anywhere in the world. Even for we, because we know that we in LAUTECH, we are research oriented. You can have course to go on maybe on a month's research leave. It doesn't affect the timetable, and it doesn't affect your lectures. Just make sure that this time I have my lecture, and anywhere in the world, you're able to deliver your lecture. So my last appeal is just to the management to deploy all the necessary infrastructure to make things very easy for both students and staff. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. The last two contributions and questions from Reverend Oho Ojo and Professor T. Adidoshu. They are noted for Professor Adidoshu is more of a support and commendation. Reverend Ojo also made commendation also. And he asks, how do we achieve all what we have listed? And that's why we have provided what we call timeline. We have provided responsible officers and units. And it's also our duty to ensure that all these are put in place and they are workable. For example, like the e-learning policy, you will see that we're already online based on what Professor Justice mentioned. And it's just that we just need to fast track most of these things. What I know about LAUTECH is that we have everything we need. It's just the managerial aspect of running them, managing them together and optimizing what we have. We have resources. Even we have infrastructure. How do we optimize them? And also about teaching. Like in ODL, our motto is learn anywhere, anytime. And if university also wants to adopt that, we need to ensure that our content are in digital format. That is the first step. And that's why we've been saying university must have a studio, so that you have people, you can create your content, you can write, create videos, PowerPoint, a lot of other things, and ensure that we increase the capacity and capability of our lecturers and also students. One beauty about this is that the students that we are teaching, they are already digital. It is we that must move digital so that we'll be able to blend the two. So we have face-to-face, we have online combined. So I want to say thank you. I will call on Professor Labisi to give the closing remark.
First of all, first the closing remark, let's ask the VC to give some short remarks. VC, sir.
Thank you very much. I want to stand on existing protocols to deliver this short remark. We have to give kudos to the organizers of these events and the backers, particularly Association of Commonwealth Universities, anchored by Sarah and Fiona. The University of Technology, that is LAUTECH University of Technology, the people from ICT, and LODL. We want to thank them for their support, for making today's conference a reality. I will also want to give special thanks to the course leader, Ruth Brown. All participants are also hereby acknowledged, and we wish to thank them for their participation in this August gathering. On this note, I want to say a big thank you for all those that are present, members of management, members of the LICT, deans of faculties, provosts, heads of departments, and the other contributors who have made this conference a success. I wish you God's guidance. I wish you God's protection. And I want to say a big thank you once again for your efforts. We hope that all stakeholders will smile at the end of our 1 year preparation program. We will have the full cause to say thank you to Almighty for guiding us through. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that short presentation. Now, for closing remark, I want to give this as we end today's collaboration between LAUTECH and African Commonwealth University program, which is on partnership for enhanced blended learning in West Africa. I believe we all have some takeaways that will help us to key into this initiative. Yeah, we all agree with me that we'll be able to see that there's need for us to build a network of blended learning experts. Also, there's need for us to strengthen lecturers and student capacity for blended learning. And also there's need for us to improve quality assurance process for blended learning pedagogy. I want to use this opportunity to thank university management, being led by Professor Liasu. Registrar, we appreciate you. The university librarian, we appreciate you. And the bursar in absence, we appreciate you also for the opportunity given to us to be able to have this program today. We also want to appreciate our deans, our chairperson COPD, we appreciated. Our deans are present. Dean, Faculty of Computing and Informatics, Dean, Student Affairs, the head of departments, directors, participants, we appreciate you all for your presence at this program. Thank you all, and thank you so much for this program. So that's the end of the program, sir.
The